Good to see you guys. How long have you guys been on for?
Hour and
1 hour and 22 minutes.
34.
I drank a whole bottle of water.
That's good.
I drink a whole bottle of water as well.
I'm getting hydrated.
I got a puppy.
He does have a puppy.
I got a full spectrum high terpene vape cart.
I don't know what that is.
I got herpes.
Heard that.
How long have you had it?
Couple years.
But it's with him for life.
Well, you see what happened was that I was dating this good Christian girl, and I was the boy from the wrong side of the tracks. And she was, how do you say, unclean? You fucking asshole. Went back and listened. I went back and listened to the episode that was heavily edited because we didn't want that guest to get in trouble from us. And the detail that Paul goes into, telling things that I definitely did not say, that we all know I did not say now, is shocking.
I swore he did.
I
didn't hear the bad boy across the tracks part.
Way to be a dead horse.
I hope that you are never a witness to a crime where you would have to put together words to describe something that happened. Because heaven help whoever the fuck is in that situation with you. Oh, yeah, well, I saw the guy take the purse and, well, you know, he was dressed up like Ronald McDonald's, but not the 90s Ronald McDonald, like the 80s. And the Grimace was there and the fucking hamburger. They all fucking stole a purse, you see? None of that happened. Oh, it did. I saw it. I was there.
He looks like a man.
I remember the Hamburglar being there, but
nothing can kill the Grimace.
So Paul marathoned all seasons of Justified in 1 week, John.
No shit.
It's my new favorite show.
Don't
Hands
talk
down.
about it. I just started watching the show.
Hey, here's what I do want to ask you, Bob. You've gotten through the first episode, right?
Yes.
The original plan was to kill Walt Goggins in episode 1.
Mm-hmm. That would have been a bad call.
And they realized it after filming the pilot, readjusted.
In the book, he dies early on. Fire in the Hall.
Yep. I'm buying all the book series that have Raylan Givens in it. The show is fantastic. The writing on it is the best writing in television I've seen in a long time.
So many good actors and cameos. Meg, whoever, I forget the name of the actress who plays Meg in that show, the Moonshine Lady, one of my favorite characters.
All right, Matt, you're now on the podcast as we're recording. What do you got to say?
Did you see the Britney Spears stuff?
I did not see your Britney Spears stuff. What are you talking about, Matt? This is literally all going on the podcast, so I hope you make this make sense.
Where I sent you that money for all the Britney Spears stuff.
Oh, is that what the money's for? The Britney Spears stuff?
Yeah.
Look, I told you I only do pony play on the weekends. I will not dress up for you.
Well, I told you last night you're the Christina Aguilera fan, and I'm Brittany. So keep it real.
What the fuck are we a part of right now?
Also, don't forget Hanson's the best too.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Bob ain't got no nipples.
If there are any authorities listening to this, I am in no way associated with that transaction that just went down.
Yeah.
I am.
Speaking of that,
that sounded like some QAnon code.
I told Doug this story. But I have to tell this story to the podcast. So I drive for a driving company, a rideshare app, if you will.
That's a good one.
So the other night, I get a call. I get a ping, as they call it in the industry. And I accept the call. And immediately my phone rings. And I'm like
a Marine, I accepted the call.
Is this the story you told me, Doug? Is this the story you told me?
Yeah. It really was a call of duty.
I can't wait for Bob to get arrested.
I accept the call. And the guy's like, hey, man, I just need you to go pick up my service dog for me. I'm like, all right, that's pretty fucking weird, but all right. He's like, so drive to this house, and that house is where I'm going. So I go there, and he's like, okay, this is the number to get into the house. I'm like, all right. He's like, just punch it into the keypad on the garage door. Garage door opens. He's like, to your right, you'll see a door that leads into the house. It'll be open. Just open the door, and my dog will come out. And the dog starts barking at me. And he's like, okay, that's Theo. He's barking a little more than normal. If you would, Go into the kitchen. Behind the coffee maker, there's some dog biscuits. Hand him a dog biscuit, and then lightly grab his collar. He jumped into my car, and I'm thinking about this whole time. I'm like, I bet this dude and his girl just broke up, and I'm stealing their fucking dog. I'm pretty sure I just stole somebody's dog.
Fuck?
It's literally
that?
The perfect crime.
I have
Who
no
does
idea.
that?
Dude.
He calls me while I'm at work, and he's telling me what's been happening up to that point. And he's like, as he's telling me, he's like, yeah, I got the dog. I gave the treat. I'm like, come on, Theo. You're a good boy, aren't you, Theo? And he's telling me this story. And he goes, I may have just committed a crime. And I'm like, you may have just committed a crime. He's like, I'm going to find out what's happening right now. I'm pulling into the house. I'll call you back. And I'm like, good luck, man.
I pull into the house, and I can hear the guy yell to his buddies. He's like, hey, the dog's here. The dog's here. And I open the car door, and the dog runs and, like, knocks this dude over. He's so happy to see him. And I'm like, I'm just going to leave now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go. Because I'm probably on some lady's camera stealing her dog.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
You think you were confused?
I'm fucking beyond confused of how that, why that happened.
It was so weird.
How is it that when I get a ride share, and I'm very polite to my drivers always, and I tip them well, and I have a 5-star rating.
By the way, that asshole didn't tip me.
But why is it that if I ask them kindly to fucking stop at a gas station so I can get a pack of cigarettes or something, they're like, oh no, we can't do that. But you broke into somebody's house and stole a dog through this process.
I, sir, punched in a code that was given to me and went and got a treat that I was told specifically where it was. And I even turned the lights off as I left.
It's good you're getting the story down for the grand jury.
That's not what you just said. You said you hacked into the security system.
Yeah.
You went underneath the laser beams.
Yeah, because
you
my
got
fat
the dog.
ass is gonna crawl under lasers. That's gonna happen.
Oh, we got it on tape. That's exactly what you said. You said it.
Your Honor, I would like to testify to the following. He called me and asked me to call him Mr. the Plague while he was doing it. His hacker decoding.
I want you to
Thanks,
know, Bob,
Mr. the Plague.
As a guy who lost his dog in a recent breakup, when Doug told me that story, my instantaneous thought was, I wish we had lift. I wish we had lift up here.
I just pictured Doug Paul going, nice.
Good for that guy. I feel like the universe paid me back a little bit right there.
That is one of the weirdest calls. One of my other weird calls, and this is one night when I knew I'd become a drug mule. I drove this dude from Bonita to Lehigh, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna run in and just drop something off. And then he's like, will you just turn off the app and I'll pay you $100 to take me to Naples? And I'm like, yeah, man. As he's opening the door to the house, he reaches in his pocket of his jacket, starts to pull something out, and then it disappears out of frame. And I'm like, he either handed them a bunch of coke or he killed people, and now I'm driving him to Naples. I got $100 out of it. So that was.
We still want the money, Lebowski. How his girlfriend cut off a toe.
Goddamn Nihilus.
Give us the money, Lebowski.
But yeah, so that's what my week has been kind of like.
Bob, I'm so sorry you have to go through that.
Dude, I love driving. I told Doug about the lady I'm driving, so I'm obviously in the driver's seat. There is a 59-year-old woman in the back passenger seat. So right rear, if you will. And she gets in the car and she's fucking wasted. And she's like, I'm newly divorced and I think I like it. And I'm like, good for you. Divorce can be a very liberating thing. And yeah, that's definitely where we're headed. And so she's like, blah, 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 talk. And then she's like, all of a sudden her hand is right here. And I'm like, all right. And she's like, I'm the national buyer for Christian Dior. And I'm like, yeah, don't care. And I'm like, I'm married. She's like, yeah. She's like, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, I'm married. And she's like, you're very handsome and you're so nice. And she's like, I'm not nice at all. And I was like, cool.
You're the good Christian boy, and she's the bad girl.
she's the nun, and I'm the ruler. But yeah,
we're reenacting the plot of Heaven Can Wait.
So I finally broke the code and realized why all these women hit on you when you're a Lyft or Uber driver. So after giving it a lot of thought, because I'm hit on every single night. Every night. And I'm not an attractive man. Let's face facts here. I'm just not attractive. Look at me. So
don't sell yourself short, man.
You're worth your weight in gold in the bear community.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, you're like beef brisket or prime rib to those motherfuckers.
So
you're like that Looney Tune cartoon where the dog's looking at the other dog, but like a pork chop.
Right. So
you're like the Charlize Theron of the bear community.
So she's telling
somebody
me
say reindeer games.
She has a world famous tattoo artist for a brother, and I googled him, and he's pretty fucking famous. And so I tell my
well,
mom
he was on Google, of course.
No, his website is pretty fucking elaborate, and his work's pretty good. I mean, he's not Kelly or anything, but he's really good. So I tell my mom this story, and my mom literally just, in the most deadpan, like, you don't know my mom. Doug knows my mom. My mom goes, the brother'd have a much better chance of hooking up with you. You care about tattoos? She's like, at least you get something out of that.
Oh, I love your mom.
That's great. She's great, man. She's just getting better and better and better with fucking age.
Money for much. You got $152 for what? For Brittany?
Apparently.
We're not talking about this. I don't want nothing to do with this. I am not going to incriminate myself here. I don't know if you're fucking paying to have Britney Spears whacked on a podcast. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I don't want anything to do with
Britney! Free Britney, bitch!
Matt is one of our biggest fans. And he's
thanks, Matt.
He's a friend of mine.
Matt, please do not kill Britney Spears and incriminate us on this podcast. I am begging you, sir.
I bet you Matt.
Matt, on the other hand,
we're going to set up come on the podcast very, very badly.
Where's he from?
He's in South Carolina. He called me last night. He's like, it's only a 9-hour drive from my house to yours. And I'm like, I could just meet you in Tampa, dude. Save you 2 hours. Yeah.
We're going to set up a P.O. box for fan mail. And if Matt wants to send me some South Carolinian barbecue and or psilocybin mushrooms, we'll set up a P.O. box shortly, and I'll put that on the thing.
I'm sure.
Fan mail. Looking for boxes of cereal from Publix.
Do they have Publix in South Carolina?
Fuck yeah, they
do. There?
Fuck yeah, they do.
And Paul's like, in the best hand job places in the Southwest.
I've thought a lot about this, man. Buy a bunch of dry good boxes from a grocery store and fill them with all that kind of like dry good stuff. They will never think to check for that, man.
I used to have a dude that would send me fucking pills in the mail, but he would take like an Altoids container and dump out the Altoids and put the pills in the container and then wrap it back up and fucking mail it that way.
Pretty fucking genius, man.
One of my best friends who's also he's another fan of the podcast. He randomly posts the weirdest comments on our YouTube channel about some random woman, usually. I don't know what he's talking about.
Wait, what comment? Maybe I can add context to it.
I can't remember, but it's almost always just some lady's name, and I'm like, what? It's always fucked up. But he back before 9/11, before mail shit got really, really tracked, he is kind of a mad genius type of guy. And he called me from Seattle. He's like, hey, did you get your mail? And I'm like, I haven't checked the mail yet today. This is back when I'm living at my mom's house. He's like, go check the mail. And there's just an Altoids box inside of a box. And I'm like, all right. So I open the Altoids box. let me rephrase. There's a hole on the side of an Altoids box with a Christmas light. When you open the Altoids box, it just says boom and the light goes on.
Oh, that's not cool. That's unsettling as fuck.
Stop talking right now. Just stop. The fuck?
Man, Paul, thanks, Paul and Bob. Our fan base is the fucking Unabomber.
I gotta go. The fucking FBI is at my door, guys.
No. So he had literally taken just a giant piece of salt rock and then used the copper wiring and the aluminum of the tin to make its own battery.
Yeah,
that's all he was. What's that?
He's really crafty.
It was pretty cool. Cool.
Does he have any self-published books that only he's read and written that I would love to read?
I think Paul's probably read one of them.
How many manifestos does he have?
I would probably
novels.
Novels.
And are they on Amazon?
Fictional characters.
He has 2 favorite films. Guess what they are?
Catcher in the Rye and
Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts.
Nope. Dune. And The Sound of Music.
Oh, which version of Dune?
Say?
Yeah, exactly.
Which version of Dune?
The original, the one that came. David Lynch version.
And Sound of Music. And Sound of Music.
That is a very odd combination, man.
He literally went last year to a theater to watch the Sound of Music revival that they were playing in Seattle. He's like, I was one of 6 people there. So yeah.
How long have you known this guy?
Since the 3rd grade.
Did he have any like Bruce Wayne traumatic shit happen to him at some point in his
No, his grandfather was a scientist and an inventor, and yeah, he just.
Is your friend Elon Musk?
Yeah. He might as well be, dude.
He made a flamethrower out of a pet. Is he Richard Grieco and if looks could kill?
Dude, you have no idea the shit this guy made. So back in the day, he worked at the hospital. And Justin was in charge of all of the beepers in the hospital, right? So this is so fucked up. So he handed out every beeper to everybody, and he sat there one day, and he's like, and he drew up a schematic of the hospital, and he's like, so I hand out all the beepers, I charge all the beepers, and he's like, it's not that hard to get certain thermite-based explosives that when vibrations happen, and so he's the only one who had access to this. Like, there's a button you can push that's page all. It will hit every pager in the hospital. He's like, you could take down the whole place with one fucking button, and I'm like, maybe you shouldn't work there anymore, Jut. Just a thought. You probably shouldn't work there. He's like, just something I was thinking about.
I'm just picturing your friend painted up as the Joker dressed as a nurse.
This person listens to our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This person listens to our podcast on a regular basis. Hey, how you doing, buddy? just giving you a shout out, man. Fucking thanks for listening. Glad to have you aboard, buddy. You need anything, I got you. You're my boy.
Now, Justin,
I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do if I caught it.
John is joking, so let me say this seriously. If you need anything, I got you.
Oh man.
What the fuck is going on here? What did I just stumble upon? Why did I get on Discord? Why did I just lay down and take a fucking nap like I wanted to? Now I'm going to be end up in fucking jail at the end of the week. I do not want to hear the phrase, blood on my knife or shit on my dick ever in my life, okay? This is not going to be good.
When people would die of heart failure, he would go into their rooms and take their nights. He would take their nitroglycerin.
Hey, we're not talking about sex.
Hold on, I'm crying. He would take their nitro. I'm sorry.
Stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Stop fucking talking. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're gonna get us all fucking. You're gonna get us all killed, asshole. What the fuck are you doing?
He doesn't have any of our addresses. We're fine.
But you can email the podcast at bropromo@gmail.com.
Sure, you can fucking find it.
Did you say bropromo or kokomo at gmail.com?
Bropromo.
Way down in Kokomo.
All right, so I won't tell that story, but
Thanks.
First on Plastics Factory. You guys all know what a potato gun is, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So he made a break barrel potato gun that shot spent CO2 cartridges. That fucking thing would go straight through a dumpster.
God, yeah, it's a weapon.
Yeah, they let him make it at work.
Who let him?
The owner of the Plastics Factory.
Oh, the owner of the fucking ATF might have something to fucking say about that. Something that fires a deadly goddamn projectile.
Women and children in the house.
A potato is a deadly projectile.
The ATF is here. It's cool. My boss told me I can make it. Oh, in that case, go about your day, sir. Jesus Christ. That day this guy will make Ruby Ridge look like fucking Disneyland, apparently. Paul knows what I'm talking about.
He's
I think the whole beeper and thermite idea is way in the past. And
it was fucking 1994.
Well, I'm just saying, to update things, just remember, thermite can fit in a PlayStation remote, and they too also have rumble packs, and you can reseal them with super glue.
Good tip. Good tip.
The more you know.
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and maybe I'll come back. I'm going to go dye my hair like Ponyboy Curtis on the run.
I would love to see John
just give me 1 second.
With a fucking high and tight, and he's all of a sudden blonde when he comes back from the bathroom.
Hang on. I'm texting my lawyer right now. I'm just letting him know that I will be cashing in that retainer sometime in the near future.
Oh,
the nitroglycerin story. Like he legit would take people's nitroglycerin when they would die, their heart medication. That way, and he kept it. So he took like a, what is it called? A caplet when you can pull them apart. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm so happy the mustache fell off.
The Bears.
Did you see the snot rocket? Oh, Doug, when you're editing this, slow-mo that so we can watch the snot rocket come out.
Where did you get a wig on my haircut?
I dressed up as Tommy Chong at a 420 party a year ago, and I still have the Tommy Chong.
It's great. It's a good thing our government doesn't listen in on our conversations or spy on us in any way, shape, or form.
They're not watching us right now.
Yeah, thank God we didn't have some civil hero like Edward Snowden warning us about shit.
Yeah, what a horrible thing.
We'll call it the Patriot Act. People will be right on board with it.
Dude, everyone used to make bombs when they were a kid. Or was that just me?
No, I didn't.
I didn't. I tried to see tits when I was a kid.
I filmed movies and blew shit up. That's what I did.
Like, you say that like seeing tits and making bombs are mutually exclusive. I challenge you to say that if you did have a bomb, you could see way more tits.
Point.
Like, you mean because they've been blown up and scattered everywhere?
Because you're threatening their lives.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them that way. I want them to want to show me.
Do you though? Do you really?
Yeah.
I bet you if you had a bomb strapped to your chest, they'd want to show you.
I think we need to take it a step further, not just canceling fucking Dr. Seuss. I think we cancel the whole fucking lot of them. Judy Blume, Fudge, the Fudge series. You've never heard of Fudge? Dude.
The Berenstain Bears. Maybe get rid of those fucking trolling all the
Berenstain Bears, man.
The bear.
It's my favorite books. Look at Paul's face.
Wait a minute. Baron Berenstein, German Baron. What?
Whoa.
Good thing we're not big in Israel.
They were German. They were German Jew bears.
You blow my mind. Do you guys want to come over to my house later on? This is some Grateful Dead. Whoa! How's everybody else's week been other than Bob stealing a dog and learning how to build a bomb?
I did my first Facebook Marketplace transaction.
What is that?
What was her name?
It's like Craigslist, but for Facebook.
Bought a guitar. Bought a guitar off a dude in a Publix parking lot off Facebook Marketplace, and I was really creeped out by it. Bought my gun, had it in the back of my fucking pants while I was checking out the guitar and giving him the envelope filled with cash. It was very nerve-wracking, but he ended up being a cool guy. Got a great guitar.
Does this violate YouTube's terms of service that I had a gun in my pants while I handed him a bag of cash?
Not at all.
Okay, just making sure.
There's a lot of gun channels. John,
a lot of people care.
Do you have a CPL in Florida?
No, I do not.
Oh.
I refuse to give the government what should be my God-given right as an American citizen, sir. Florida gun laws are so lax that you don't really need one.
In Michigan, you don't even need a CPL. You can open carry like it's the wild fucking West. You only need a CPL.
That's great. I love it. When I come up there to visit, I'll keep that in mind.
You better come to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to vacation when I was a kid.
Look, if John's coming up there, I'm coming up there, and we will have the most ridiculous camping trip. It'll be like the great fucking outdoors.
Great movie. Can I be Dan Aykroyd?
If you guys seriously come up, I will buy a jumbo tent and set it up in my property, and you guys can stay in the tent.
You'll need a jumbo tent for each of us. We're all fucking fat.
I'll stay at my apartment and drive out the next day and see you guys.
Fuck you, bitch. You're staying in my tent. We're going to cuddle this
Hey, Doug, great camping trick. Can I fucking crash on your couch tonight?
Yeah, you want to play PlayStation?
No. We're going to rough it in Paul's front yard.
There's no roughing it. I have internet, dude.
We'll have a pizza party and get fucked up while John and Bob fuck each other in the woods.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I thought it was going to be funnier. Damn it.
Oh, man.
That was a girl I grew up with when I was a kid.
Tell the story without using the name, because I want to talk about this story, because we discussed it yesterday, and there's some hypocrisy on this podcast.
Just bleep her name out.
Yeah, all right. So I grew up with this girl. She lived in between where I live and where Paul lives now, like directly in between. She was on my bus stop, and she got made fun of a lot as a kid because she had humongous horse teeth. Like her choppers. And to be fair, she still has big teeth, but she's grown into them or grown around them, I guess. She's become very, very beautiful. She has. I think she's beautiful. I think she looks good now.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So like we grew up basically riding the same bus route to school from like first grade to fifth grade. She was the kid on the bus stop that everybody knew who she was because her parents had a pet bear. They actually had like this enclosure out in their backyard, and they had a bear. They literally had a grizzly bear.
Who the fuck has a bear for a pet? Why? Why
not? You've seen grizzly, man. They're fun and cuddly.
Seriously,
anyway,
the upper picture.
Well for that guy. Yeah, you know why he died though, right?
Why?
Because he was gay.
And the bear was the vessel which with God chose to smite him off the face of the earth.
Just like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh my God! I have to cut that shit out, man.
Absolutely.
That's a goddamn good joke, man.
I know. Or leave it in. I don't fucking care. Fuck these people. If you're listening to this and you think I'm fucking serious and you're offended, do me a favor. Go fuck yourself.
Like Michael Jordan said, fuck these kids.
This show, like the Muppets, should not be watched.
She rode the bus stop first through fifth grade, and her dad, she used to tell stories on the bus about her dad. Her dad had all these nudie mags that she would talk about, and I said, prove it, bring one on the bus. So she brought on a Penthouse. That day that's the same day I got caught with the ones at home and shit. I got caught with these at school. And I lost track of her after I moved away in 5th grade or 6th grade. And I moved back here, got my shit together, jumped back on Facebook in 2018. And I reconnected with a lot of people I grew up with when I moved back up here. And I reconnected with her through somebody I reconnected with here. And she was coming up that summer. And we were talking back and forth. And she's like, yeah, well, I'm taking a bus there, but I got to stop. I need to be picked up. And I'm like, well, I'll pick you up. We've been flirting and shit like that. And I picked her up, drove like 4 hours, got her, and got a blowjob in the car. And then we fucked for the next 3 days. And then she got on a bus and left. That's a story.
Finish the story.
And she knows your cousin.
Finish the story.
No, I'm not going to finish the story.
Finish the story, Doug.
Finish the fucking story, Doug. Finish the fucking story, Doug.
So approximately 9 months later.
Okay.
So approximately 9 months later, when Nicole's with her husband, she has a baby.
You're terrible at embellishing.
Who has blonde hair and blue-eyed.
She has a kid with this guy she was married to. And she told me when she was coming here, the way she presented to me is he was cheating on me. Fuck him. We're done. I'm over this shit. And I'm like, cool. So we came, we hung out, we fucked all weekend. And then she left. And then a month and a half later, I get a barrage of text messages on my phone number, not on Facebook Messenger, on my fucking personal phone from a number I don't recognize. Hi, I'm so-and-so, blah, blah, blah's husband. She told me everything. I got it out of her. I know it. I stopped reading it, deleted it immediately, blocked his number. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit, man.
Yeah.
And I sent her a message. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but and I stopped talking to her. Like a year and change goes by, and she reaches out to me, and I didn't tell Paul this part. She reaches out and she apologizes. She's like, "Look, we connected because I was at the time when we reconnected. I was recovering from Suboxone and opiates and shit. She was recovering from heroin abuse. So it was like a perfect storm of two fucking junkies mashing each other's heads, and that's what it was. And she wrote me this long letter apologizing for running me through it. It was junkie behavior on her part, and she didn't mean anything by it, and she stuck with her husband. And when I got that message, I checked her Facebook profile, and she had just had a kid, like not that long ago. And the kid, unlike her other kid, looked almost identical to me when I was a kid. And she never said anything. She never said anything. And I never said anything, and she's never asked me for anything, so I'm just going to treat it like if it didn't really happen in the state you live in, then it didn't really happen.
Doug, did you just tell us you have a fucking child?
Yes, you did.
I don't know for sure.
23andMe, that kid's a fucking vial to spit in, and you'll find out.
And I think I remember...
Maybe in 20 years when that kid's grown up and wants to meet his real father and finds out the truth, he can come visit my gravestone because I'm sure I'll be long fucking dead by then. Whatever, but he'll have this wonderful show to catch up and find out who his papa was.
And I just want to say...
See, this is why every time after I'm done having sex with the girl, I just kick her in the fucking stomach. Wait, what?
You kick your hand a lot?
COVID.
Yeah, it's COVID. It's not the pack of cigarettes by your bed.
Oh, it only would have made that better, John, if you went like
this. What are you talking about?
John, it would have made it better if you went like this. COVID.
Kobe.
Played poker last night. Had a poker game last night. That was good. Fucking ended up fucking profiting like $220 off my friend. So that always feels good.
The one and only time John took me to a casino, the casino out in the middle of Immokalee? Me and Matthew Lawrence, and I was excited because Jess had just taken me on the casino cruise, the FedEx Kinko's cruise that we went on. And I had a real fun time because I ended up losing almost all my money within the first 20 minutes of getting on the boat. And I had like $20 left. And I looked at Jess and she's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I'm going to go get an overpriced drink at the bar, and then I'm going to put $5 into the blackjack table, and if I lose that, then I'm not going to spend anything. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the evening." And I bought a drink, and I sat down at a blackjack table, and an hour later, I came out with $350 and cash. So I was riding that high and that excitement of because up until that point, I'd only ever played blackjack with my grandmother. I never knew the actual rules, so I'd learned in that sitting. Like how you could split hands,
Yeah, basic strategy.
When I figured that out, as I'm sitting there next to the people and I'm watching the dealer and that, like it just something clicked into me where I wasn't so much like card counting because I'm not that smart, but it was being able to read the expression. Yeah, like no. Yeah, I was autistic for an hour on a boat out in the middle of water, and suddenly
Hey, not cool, man. Don't make the same mistake I made. Don't do it. Here for it, gentlemen. I think I killed Doug. I think Doug is dead.
I did a 2-week pleasure cruise of the Mediterranean, and I got a good deal. I don't know what's so funny about that. But
you did a what?
Just because you
did what with the Venetian children?
It was oily and hairy.
Well, no.
I was listening to a lot of Michael McDonald.
I was in the Navy, and when you go on a deployment in the Navy, it's called a cruise. So I wanted to make sure to differentiate between I was on a Royal Caribbean ship, not a Navy ship.
Got you. Apologies.
And I did.
My apologies.
It's okay. I did a 2-week one around the Med, so Turkey, Israel, Northern Africa. Anyway, just talking about the blackjack on the cruise. I paid the room was $425 to do the 2-week cruise. I got a good deal on it. And every day I would wake up before I'd start drinking and go to the casino and I would just play blackjack for an hour. And whenever I would once I made this amount of money, I would just quit. And I did that every day, and I would always throw the chips back on my room tab because the way it works is you do everything on the cruise, and then the last day you pay your bill for the room. And I just kept doing that and banking it. By the time I left the cruise, when it came time to pay my bill, they owed me $945.
Nice.
Awesome.
I always like hearing stories like that. So let me tell you, speaking of gambling, so fucking 2 years ago, I'm like, you know what? I want to learn the game craps. So I bought a book, and I started doing all this online research. There's a guy named Michael Schaffer. He's called The Wizard of Odds. He's got a whole bunch of videos on YouTube that goes in depth and explains gambling games at different casinos, blackjack, 3-card poker, craps, roulette, so on and so forth. So I got really into studying the game craps, and I came up with my own strategy that I thought that mathematically gives me the best edge against the house, to where the house is only up 1.5%, which is damn near even, and you can't ask for more than that in a casino game. So I go through all this, and then I realize something. You can't play craps in Florida.
Oh, really?
At any casino. It's illegal. You have to go out on one of those fucking cruise ships, and there's none left in fucking Fort Myers anymore. And I was like, fuck, that sucks. But the new casinos, I go to the Hard Rock all the time because they have an electronic version of it, where instead of a craps table, it's a big dome with 2 giant dice in it, and you press the button and they go all around the place.
Like Trouble? And
you have an electronic screen to make your bets on it. So it's kind of like a grown-up game of Trouble, or Sorry, whatever the fuck it was. But it's been really cool, and I've been every time I go to the casino, I've been doing really well, profiting $400, $500, $600 doing that.
Craps?
Hey, can you loan me $400 or $600?
No, I haven't gone in a while.
Craps.
How about $350?
Good job, hippie.
You know, it's funny. As John told that story, which that's kind of funny that you learned that only to find out you couldn't play it. But that was why
I know.
When you took me to the casino, I believe you took me with Matthew Lawrence, and I was excited because of that high I got from playing blackjack, and I didn't realize that at the time you weren't allowed to play blackjack unless you
blackjack there. Yeah, this is back when the fucking Immokalee Casino was basically a metal shed in the middle of the fucking woods in a bad neighborhood. I don't know if you guys have seen it recently. It's like a goddamn 4-star hotel. They fucking rebuilt it. It's really nice now.
The area around
it's the area around it's still shit. You're fucking likely to get stabbed if you go for a walk. Or get attacked by a fucking rooster. Somebody's gonna have to explain to me why Mexicans own so many fucking roosters. I do work out there, and I walk up to a house and there's 50 goddamn roosters in the yard, and I'm like, what the fuck are you people doing with these birds? Are you eating them? Are they your friends?
They're going to eat. They're going to eat them.
They're Santeria. They're going to eat them, and they're going to use them for religion. Santeria, man.
Yeah, it's 50 dinners, man. Well, 25 depending the size of the family. But John, just to bring up a point, craps. I don't know. I don't think Bob or Doug are big gamblers. But craps
Not anymore.
is the
Wiggle
one,
your camera, John.
Craps is the one game that I never recommend, like a novice, like if you were to take Doug to a casino, to ever just play. Like he would go and play blackjack without understanding the rules.
Yeah,
you
got
can
no
lose your ass in craps really quickly.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The game seems so complicated and so intimidating, but it's really not. Like once you start learning it, you're like, oh, that's fucking really, that's it. Like that's easy. But you need to know what you're doing and how to bet and how to make certain bets before you walk up to a craps table.
Well,
if you just go here, I put money here and here, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like you're going to lose.
John, have you ever been at
there's strategy and math involved.
Have you ever been at a craps table where somebody walks up and bets against the shooter?
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I play Dark Side. If you know what Dark Side player is.
Yeah, I do know what Dark Side is.
I play against everybody. That is my strategy of how I play. And
I have never done it.
People to fuck off, and I love it.
I have never done it, but I've been there when somebody has, and it's the most entertaining thing to be a bystander to watch. If you're the shooter, if I was the shooter and somebody did that to me, I would be fucking infuriated. So craps is a team game.
Oh no, and I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers, yeah.
Everybody loses their ass, and you're the one guy going.
Do you know why I play, Paul? Do you know why I play like that? Because it has the better odds.
Better odds.
Absolutely.
When John took me to the casino, I was so excited to play blackjack before finding out they didn't have it. All they had in that entire metal shed that he talked about was a stream of fucking slot machines, digital slot machines, poker, and Texas Hold'em. That was it. That was all they did that night we went. And I remember you looking at me like,
I was there, yeah.
And I remember you looking at me and explaining to me why I couldn't play blackjack, and you're like, just play poker, man. And I'm like, I don't know how to play poker. And you brought me over to this Native American lady, got it on the first try, and she gave me a booklet on your suggestion on how to play Texas Hold'em. It was like Texas Hold'em for dummies, but it was in one of those tiny little Bible booklets that like Jesus Christ Latter-day Saint people would give as they walked around. And it was a tiny little booklet that had the spade, the diamond, the club, all that shit. And I couldn't understand a fucking word of what I was reading. And I remember you said, just read that book for like 20 minutes. And then when you're ready and confident, come to the table. And I remember looking at the book, not knowing what to fucking make of any of it, because I didn't know how to play poker. I couldn't remember how to play it. It had been so long. So I came to the table after 15 minutes and sat next to you. And I think it was a $20 buy-in. And the cards started getting dealt out, and you're looking at me, you're like, you ready? And I'm like, I think this is my recollection of it. And I'm like, I think so. And I remember winning the entire pot on the first hand. And you looked at me and you're like, that shit never happens. And I'm like, awesome. And I look at the dealer, I'm like, I'd like to cash out, please. And everybody turned and looked at me like they were going to murder me. And John looked at me.
Yeah.
Most casinos have a 3-out handout.
If I were you, I'd take your money and go the fuck out. John's like, go get your shit and get the fuck out of this building and wait until I'm done. You're like, you were so incensed, and I couldn't understand why. I didn't know.
You're not because you're not taking money from.
You're not playing against the casino. You're playing against those other players. You're taking the other players' money. It's not a casino game where like craps or blackjack where you win, everyone's happy for you. At a poker table, you're playing against other people.
Yeah,
but you didn't. And nobody explained that.
You treated it like you had just beat the casino and that everything was great, and you just cashed out immediately. This is why I had to have a rule at my poker game. Like I have a rule. Like I am not a casino. I don't rake the pot because that's illegal. But I'm hosting a card game, so when you buy in, you are here for 2 hours before you are able to cash out.
Last time I played at John's house, I got up early a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, let me ride this out because his 2-hour thing. I'm like, okay, the blinds are starting to go up. Fuck. All right, I gotta go ahead and play.
How many boxes of regatta is he into us for?
Yeah.
50.
Man, he took all of Frank Sinatra Jr.'s, man.
All right, gentlemen. I hate to be the old guy, but I'm about to pass out.
I gotta take a fucking nap. I'm fucking fried.
Well, I'm gonna be driving all night, so.
All right.
I love you guys. I'm glad that you guys were on.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
I wish you guys good luck, good fortune throughout the week. I hope Jesus Christ himself blesses you all.
This
Amen.
fucking weirdo.
Hashtag blessed.
Bye.